Bom dia! Welcome back. Let's walk to the neighborhood of Sea Yemenja this morning because in just 2 days from now is the fantastic Festa da Yemenja, the sea goddess of the Candomblé religion. And I can't wait. It's one of my favorite days of the year. Now there's Shopping Baja in front of me in the Baja neighborhood. Swinging around here, we're going up the street. One of my viewers asked me to name the streets that I walk on. He was curious about what streets I enjoy walking on here in Salvador because he is planning to move to Salvador soon. There's a smaller shopping center called Victoria Center, and this is the street that one of the streets I think that he's curious about that, and then you often see me walking up because just coming up in the next block, it has a very nice tree-lined center divide with walking paths and bike path. It's an upscale neighborhood, and the neighborhood's name is Jardim Apipema, and the name of the street is Rua Professor Sabino Silva. Very nice street. The center divide is narrow right here at the beginning of the street. On one side is the sidewalk that I'm walking on. The other side is a kind of more of a bike path. But this center divide will widen as we continue to walk along this street. It's a gentle uphill, or if you're coming in the opposite direction, a gentle downhill. Very pleasant, very safe. I used to live on the street in that blue building right across the street. Many years ago I lived on the street. That's why I know about it. And it's not far from where I live, as I just showed, very near Shopping Baja. This middle divider section with the pathway is never crowded, so it's just pleasant to walk on and to gather your thoughts and to think and enjoy the tropical foliage and trees. It's a gentle climb, not steep at all, but a good source of exercise. Just learned that my brother-in-law, Eliamar, the brother-in-law who is living with me right now, has to work every day for the next 2 weeks. There was some kind of issue at his job where there was, he does security for, I want to say Pemex, which is the National Oil Company of Mexico. I used to teach at Pemex, but no, for Petrobras, the National Oil Company of Brazil. And there was an attempted robbery at one of the refineries, so for the next 2 weeks leading up to Carnival, he is working every single day, and as I've said before, he works really long days. He leaves the house at 5 a.m. in the morning and doesn't get home until 9 o'clock at night. Normally he works one day on, one day off, etc., but for the next 2 weeks it's every day. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna have a lot of alone time, which I'm not complaining about at all. But then come Carnival, I think it starts February 14th, then he'll be around more, and his wife Tanya will be coming into Salvador for 4 days, which is fine. Four days to enjoy Carnival, and the city will be hopping. The next big event here in Salvador that I'm going to participate in is on Monday, February 2nd, this coming Monday, which is the Festa da Yemenja, the festival of the Candomblé Sea Goddess Yemenja, one of my favorite festival days of the year here in Salvador, takes place in the neighborhood of Sea Goddess Yemenja, which I've taken you there many times on my walks. Hundreds of thousands of people will gather by the beach and make offerings to the Sea Goddess. So on Monday, we'll be attending that festival, looking forward to it. The Rio Yemenja neighborhood from Baja, where I live, the beginning of my route is always up this street that we're walking up right now, on this pedestrian walkway on Sabino Silva. And what it does, it goes up and connects with the coastal road, and then you follow the coastal road along the coast to the Rio Yemenja neighborhood. It takes from my apartment to Rio Yemenja takes about an hour there and an hour back. Today is a bit overcast, 30 degrees Celsius, comfortably warm. No rain in the forecast last time I looked, although you can never totally trust the weather forecast here. Sometimes it's showing dry skies and it starts raining, and the opposite too. So who knows? If I can feel very, very light droplets right now. So who knows what the day will bring. The news from the United States continues to alarm me, but here in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, all is well. All is well. The US dollar has been slipping a bit against the Brazilian real and other currencies the last week to 10 days. I wonder if that has something to do with the all of the news coming out of Minneapolis and other news coming from the White House. The world is in terrible flux right now, and I think the world is pulling away from the United States, looking for ways to circumvent the US dollar. Who knows how long the US dollar will continue to be the world's reserve currency. I don't want to think about it too much or worry about it, but you know, personally, as long as the Brazilian real does not drop below 5 reais for $1, I'm okay. I don't want to see it drop anymore, but if it gets as low as 5 to $1, I can deal with that. If it drops below 5 though, then I start sweating a little bit. When I first got here as a permanent resident 4 years ago, the dollar was a little bit below 5. It was around 4.85, got as low as 4.70, and then it started climbing. Now it's normal for currencies to fluctuate. Can't expect them to stay high or low or never change, but there is a concern that with the behavior of Trump and his talent for insulting other countries, that he is going to do permanent damage to the US dollar. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. With the passing of each day, as we get closer and closer to Carnival, one sees more and more signs of Carnival. I don't know if you can see up there in front of us. I believe they're called toldos, or like temporary stands that people put up to sell things along the Carnival routes, temporary restrooms, temporary everything are starting to fill the streets along and on the sides of the Carnival route. And this street that we're walking on leads into the what is it called? The Avenida Oceanica, the avenue that runs along the coastal road, and that is why that these barracos are being erected here, because this is now coming up to the Carnival route. but they're temporary. They'll be taken down after Carnival. And everywhere you go, you see these signs outside apartment buildings on the windows of apartments that say, aluga-se por temporada, Carnival, means for rent, apartments for the season. And there's another one, aluga-se, Carnival. You see them everywhere. And as I walk, there's another one, rent for Carnival. You will not have any trouble finding a place to rent or to stay during Carnival, but be prepared. Rents are going to double, triple, or quadruple during Carnival season. So bring your bank card and debit cards with you. Then prices will drop dramatically to normal prices and rents right after Carnival. So it's not always like that. That's why I would suggest if you're going to be moving to Salvador, don't come looking for an apartment during Carnival season, which is generally the month of February or late January. Wait until after Carnival. Well, as you can see, there's no rain, the clouds dispersed, and it's sunny and people are on the beach here. We're in the Ongina neighborhood right now. We're walking along the coastal road. The coastal road starts in Puerto de Baja neighborhood and continues all the way up to the northern reaches of the city of Salvador. Stella Maris up there. And somehow I often find myself walking on this road in this direction, in the direction of the neighborhood of Rio Vermelho. I guess I just like this walk because it's along the ocean, you get the ocean breezes. And it's also mostly flat. And as I've said before, Salvador is a very hilly city. So if you don't like climbing hills, and this is a good route to take for a long walk. And now here I've stopped along this beach. There are some natural tidal pools. And there is the house of the famous Brazilian author Jorge Amado up on that hill. The author of Dona Flor and Her Two Husbands. I enjoy this beach very much. It's called the Praia de Paciencia, the beach of patience. It's very beautiful. And now we've reached the Rio Vermelho neighborhood, and look, it is getting all decked out for the festival of the Sea Goddess Yemenja on Monday. They're already setting up the stands. The vendors want to get the prime spots because they can make quite a bit of money on one of these festival days. And these are images here of the Sea Goddess Yemenja. She's very beautiful. And the colors of the festivals are blue and white. And now here is a group, a candomblé group, who are doing some kind of dance in front of the house of the Yemenja, dressed in the traditional white. I know I'm always going to find something interesting when I come upon this area of Rio Vermelho, and there are the small fishing boats along the beach. And there is a Pai de Santo giving a woman a blessing. Thanks again for joining me today. I'll see y'all soon. As always, beijo, ciao.